Alrighty, this is my first ever video blog, but it's a pretty big deal. I wanted to let you guys know. I don't know who's going to see this or where it's going to get posted, but I wanted to let you know what we are doing. I haven't journaled a lot about this. I haven't written much, and I thought this would be a unique way kind of to share the news and share the journey. My wife and I are in the process of adopting. We are looking to adopt a little boy somewhere between the age of 6 and 12 or 13. We're still working on exactly the details. It's a journey or a process that really began a while ago. We had talked before about adopting when the boys are older, bringing someone in, foster care or adopting, but once the boys were older. Well, as we found many times in our life together, you don't put a time stamp on God's timetable. About 6 months ago, Christine Kane, who runs the A21 campaign, which is a human trafficking rescue organization, spoke at our church, and in the middle of her talk she shared a story of this rescue she went on. She's rescued these 2 girls, and one of the girls looked at her and said, "Why didn't you come sooner?" Well, that line really stuck with Carissa, and since that time she began to pray and really feel God leading her and ultimately us towards adoption now, not waiting. She didn't share this with me immediately. In fact, she didn't say anything at all for a while. She would pray that if this is what God wanted us to do, if this was the path He was leading us on, she prayed that God would change my heart and make me come out and say, you know, we need to do this now. Or she prayed, if this is not what God wanted us to do, that He would change her heart. Well, in her own words, the problem with that is that she was putting it all on her and God. And if God had been leading me toward adoption now, a lot of those subtle maybe leadings I would not have recognized, because I didn't know that this was even something that she was considering or that she was praying about. So a couple months ago, it all came out in a really emotional and great conversation that we had, and she shared, you know, the fact that she believed this is what God's leading us towards. And in that conversation, when she said, "I really think we need to adopt now," had it not been something that God was leading us towards, I believe I would not have had the reaction I did. I was completely calm. I was completely understanding, and I said, you know what, let's pursue this. Let's look into this. That's not like me. I worry a lot, and especially with something this big. It's life-changing. You know, I mean, having a kid is life-changing. Bringing in a third, I have no doubt will be just as life-changing. But in our conversation, I felt this peace, and that peace told me that this is something that God wanted us to pursue. So we've begun to take the steps. We've selected an organization, an adoption agency that we hope to work with. We've been taking classes, and in fact we've got a class tonight in just probably about 45 minutes. And I got to tell you, the classes are tedious. I mean, there's some good information in these classes, but it's class. I mean, I try to cut up and have fun with it, whatever, but it's still class. We've told the boys, we talked to the boys about it before we ever started classes. We talked to our friends who are all very supportive and encouraging. We've talked to our family, and they're all excited. So God is continuing to take us down the steps of this path. And that's, you know, one thing that we pray is that as we go down this journey, that God continues to just take us down the next step and the next. We don't want to look at the finish line. Ultimately, yes, we want to adopt, but there are a lot of things that need to happen between now and then. There's a lot of process, there's a lot of paperwork and classes and training. So we're just doing that. We are in the middle of it. And as we continue to take these steps, I'm going to continue to do these video entries. When things happen, when we reach milestones, I'll probably video it, and we're looking forward to it. We would appreciate your prayers, and just pray that God directs us and brings the right child to us and us to the right child. We want to make an impact, have an influence in some child's life who needs it. We know that God's provided for us, and we want to provide for this child. The Bible says that true religion is caring after the orphans and the widows. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm not saying, look what we're doing. We just feel that this is what God is leading us towards. When God leads, my wife had this line, when God tells you to go, you either go or you wander around in the desert for 40 years. We don't want to wander in the desert, so we're going. We're taking steps, and I hope you continue to take the journey with us. See you later.